Let's talk about how the brain actually creates healthy fun. Remember the acronym DOSE: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. Think of them as the 4 pillars holding up your emotional house. If one pillar becomes weak, the whole house starts to shake. If one pillar becomes excessive, the house also becomes unstable. The goal is balance. I can't say that is enough. The goal is what? Balance. Not too little, not too much, just enough. Now let's start with dopamine, because I say I'll come back to dopamine. So this is me coming back with dopamine. Dopamine, called the motivation chemical. Dopamine is what makes you excited about tomorrow. It is the anticipation, the curiosity, the drive, the motivation, the goals, the achievement. Without dopamine, life feels flat. Now, what happens when dopamine is too low? When it is too low, you may experience lack of motivation. You see yourself, you're procrastinating. You feel bored, low energy, loss of interest in things that should naturally interest you. Difficulty starting your task. Feeling stuck. These are the things you see when dopamine is depleted. Now, have you ever sat on your bed and thought, I know what I should do? You wake up, you know what to do. But you feel like not doing them. That is often a dopamine problem. This is not just laziness. Your motivation system may be under-stimulated. Now, what happens again? On the other hand, what happens when dopamine is too high? This is where things get actually dangerous. High dopamine level. Too much dopamine seeking can lead you toward impulsiveness. That is where you see risk-taking, too much risk-taking. People start looking into addictions, start getting addicted, gambling, constant phone checking, endless scrolling, chasing pleasure after pleasure. That's when you see the party after party, party after party. You stop enjoying life. When dopamine is too much, you stop enjoying life. You start chasing high, and there is a difference between living your life and chasing pleasure. How do you get healthy dopamine? There are simple things, just simple things for you to get your healthy dopamine daily. Number 1, set goals. Number 2, learn new skills. Good enough, we have a lot of learning platforms, online platforms today. Number 3, travel. Even if it's within, travel. Explore new places. 4, read books. Read. Let's not forget sometimes just shut the phone down, get a hard copy and read. Reading increases your dopamine. Try it. Then when you set a task, finish it. Finish task. Have your daily to-do list. When you wake up each day, take a moment to reflect and plan your day on paper, and then follow your to-do list. Of course, follow them intelligently. Build something or join people who are building something new, something old. Just build something or join people building something. Celebrate your wins. Healthy dopamine comes from progress. It's not just about pleasure right now. It's about making progress in your life. And when you see progress, you feel good, you feel better, and you do better. So that's why when you spend hours engaging in social media, binge watching, you see your life. You feel good as you're doing it, but when you overdo it, the dopamine is high. Afterwards, you feel horrible. At that point, it's no longer a lack of dopamine. It's because it is so high that it's triggering you to keeping it high. That's dopamine. Now let's talk about oxytocin, the connection chemical. Oxytocin helps us to bond. Yeah. It makes us feel connected. It makes us feel safe. It makes us feel accepted, human. Okay? Now, the question is, what happens when oxytocin is too low? When oxytocin is too low, you may feel or you may experience loneliness. You may feel this sense of isolation. You feel small. There's this distrust. You feel emotionally distant from people, from around you, from the environment. There's this feeling of disconnectedness, disconnection. You feel disconnected. There's difficulty forming relationships with people. Sometimes people call it the imposter syndrome. Sometimes all these things are connected to the chemicals in your body. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. That is often an oxytocin problem, oxytocin deficiency. When oxytocin, or let's say what happens when oxytocin is too high? When oxytocin is too high at the other end of the spectrum, some people become over-dependent on others. They begin to form attachment problem. They become over-dependent on relationships, unable to be alone. They don't want to stay alone. They become overly trusting, overly friendly, overly, seeking for attachment, even when it's not supposed to exist. They become emotionally attached too quickly with people. They become vulnerable to manipulation. That is why I always say, balance matters. Balance matters. Balance matters. Connection should not become dependency. Human connection is different from dependency. And here is how you get your healthy oxytocin. Very simple things you can do. Hugging people. I always say human touch. The importance of human touch cannot be overemphasized. Hugs. Be a hugger. Of course, with sense. Be a hugger. Spend time with family. Build friendships. Join communities like Alpha Circle, AlphaMinds Commons. Join our community. Join communities. Join AlphaMinds communities. Join AlphaMinds Commons. Volunteer. Yes, volunteer in AlphaMinds. Help others. Help people in AlphaMinds. Have meaningful conversations in AlphaMinds. Play with children. Spend time with pets if you're someone that likes pets. Even if you don't like pets, you can start consciously or intentionally begin to like pets. Yes. I grew up not liking pets because my dad didn't like pets. He didn't like dogs or cats, all of those things. He didn't like them. But as an adult, I'm beginning to consciously like pets. I like robotic pets, the ones that I don't have to feed every day. So pets, get pets around, like them. Get the life ones. Don't be like me that you like the robotic ones, the ones that I don't have to wake up and take care of. All right. Again, connection is medicine. Humans are social creatures. We are social creatures. So isolation is not our natural state. It is not you. Isolation is not you. So you have to do what you have to do to eradicate that sense of isolation. Okay? Let's move to serotonin. Serotonin is the significant chemical. Serotonin helps us to feel like we matter. My life has meaning. I am making progress. It contributes to confidence and well-being. These chemicals are related, and most times they do the same thing. They do similar things. But a balance of all of them gives you a better balance. So now let's talk